Hey, what's up? My name is Jussi Sirviö, also known as B-Boy Focus, and I represent Flowmo Crew since 2002 when we started the crew. I've been breaking since '95. I was 11 years old by that time, and I'm now 24, so that makes 13 years right now. And when I got started, in the whole country in Finland, there was like 2 B-Boys at that time. And I was very lucky. I was living in a small town, and I got taught by like one of them. So in my school, this time in my class there was like 15 guys, and 11 maybe of these used to break. So there was a lot of interest in breaking in this time, but everybody else quit after a while. After they noticed they didn't get any girls with it, they quit, and I was the only hard-headed one to keep on going and practicing. All right, and we kept on practicing for a long time. Like, we only had a couple of videos. We got Beat Street and Wild Style at that time, which both were really dope, and old videotapes. And we basically thought that was it. That was the breaking thing, and like it was dead in all around the world. But we wanted to practice it because it was so cool and so fun. And later on, we got videotapes like Battle of the Year '97 and '96. And we were really surprised that breaking is so big around the world. We were like, wow, is it still happening somewhere? And like in Germany, there's a big competition with all these crews around the world. And we were lucky to see Style Elements and Suicide Lifestyle and Southside Rockers and Battle Squad and Enemy Squad and guys like this. So we got really inspired by these guys, by their energy and by their moves. And yeah, we kept on practicing. The first jam in Finland was '99. There was some competitions early '90s and late '90s, but '99 was the first actual jam. We went there, got part of the crew battle, and ended up winning the battle. So we were like, wow, this is some. And we might take it outside Finland as well. So we decided to buy a trip to Scandinavian Battle of the Year 2000. And that was a nice experience to see other B-Boys outside Finland. We saw people like Moves Per Minute and Atomic B-Boys and guys like this, and were really inspired by them and their experience. So we went back home and practiced a little bit more. And this time breaking information was so much harder to get because there was no internet, there was no YouTube, or there was no DVDs in stores or anything. So basically we needed to really work really hard to get the information, and that's why I believe like a lot of the Finnish B-Boys really appreciated the information they get, so that's why they really worked on their basics real hard. Nowadays, a lot of people get everything in hand like this, given straight to you, and everything like this is how you're gonna be a B-Boy. But we appreciated the information that we get so much that I think that's what keep us going still. And I hope I always will have the same passion for the dance that we had back in the days, and like same student mentality. Like always, I want to be a student and to be able to learn new things. And later on, I was very lucky to meet people, some of the people that I've been looking up to before, and learn from people a little bit at the same time. So that means people like Powan, Ken Swift, Storm, and Maurizio, and a lot of people like this. And eventually, like, we formed our own truth, like picking up the pieces and making everything into big one piece, and like that's how we formed the truth in breaking. Like there's as many sides of the history as there's B-Boys in the world, so everybody tells their own view of things. You just have to like fix everything together and make your own view of it. All right. And yeah, that's basically it. Now, always I like to give it up to the DJs as well. A lot of people like now breaking is so big. There's big stage battles and commercial works and everything. But if you look at the stage battles, there's always going to be the DJ in the background. Like without the DJs, there wouldn't be no B-Boys. Like, and behind the DJs, there's the recording artists. Like James Brown was the first B-Boy. So basically, always I give it up to the recording artists as well. And that's why this project has been so special to me, because I've been working with Ed, the drummer. So that's a nice experience to really, you can see the communication with the dancer and the music. All right? That's about it. Enjoy the DVD. I hope you get everything out of it. Like, study everything that you see, and hopefully you manage to get a couple of new ideas out of it. All right, that's about it.
Hi, my name's Ed Cleary. I'm 29 years old and I've been drumming for about 15 years. I just wanted to talk briefly about why it's such an honour to be on this DVD, and that is because it's the first time I've had the opportunity to talk a little bit about what I believe a drummer's job is, and that is to lay down a foundation for musicians and dancers to go off. What a lot of drummers do wrong is that they play too much, which creates confusion within the rhythm and therefore doesn't lay down a good platform for people to kind of get inspiration off. And that's what got me into b-boying in the first place. I started breaking about 8 years ago, and the whole reason I started was because when I was younger I used to play the drums, play on the pots and pans at home, eventually got my drum kit, and after about 5 years I got to a stage where I was thinking something's not right, you know, I'm playing with other musicians and doing gigs and I'm not feeling comfortable around other people, and that was purely because I wasn't keeping it simple and laying down that foundation. And that's why watching b-boys like Focus, Doonok, Ivan, those kind of b-boys really inspire me to play drums better, and I'm sure I inspire them in some ways to hit the beat and the stabs that I create. And that's my kind of drive. When I sit down on the drums, I'm not really bothered about kind of showing off or kind of doing any tricks. I like to just kind of lay it down, because when you listen to old funk music and kind of like the best tracks, the best music that's around, it's always got that kind of pulse that makes people want to get up and dance. And that's kind of where my passion lies. And I guess you could call me a b-boy drummer, because I take the dancing and the drumming and I look at it as one focus. And I hope that when you hear me play some beats on this DVD, you'll be inspired. And later on I want to talk a little bit more about breaking the rhythms down and how we work together. And that's pretty much it for now. Me and Focus are going to take the rhythms, break them down later, and I hope you enjoy them.
Now, since I got the chance to work with a live drummer on this one, we decided to break it down the basic rhythms just a little bit. B-boys dance to breaks, b-boys dance to funk breaks. And on this DVD, in most of the exercises or steps, we're going to count from 1 to 8. Now Ed's going to break it down to you a little bit, how it works.
Okay, it's really simple count. If we just do it out loud, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we repeat, we go back to the 1. If you're looking at it and listening to it when a drummer's playing, you'll notice that the accent that you're kind of listening out for, or a dancer's looking out for, is generally the snare drum. And that's on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's count that. I'll give you 4 in. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and so on. So generally, that's kind of what you're going to be listening to at this stage to get your count. If I talk about the 3 elements that I just used that you're going to hear all the time in rhythms when you're listening to funk and hip-hop and everything else, you're really looking at these 3 here. The hi-hat, the snare drum, and the kick. Okay? And again, if you're listening to hip-hop especially, they're usually looping in 8ths, a dancer's count of 8ths, or in a musician's term, we count in 4. So you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, loop back to the beginning. It's exactly the same for a dancer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, back to the beginning. So we're always looking at that loop. And that's pretty much it for now. Just a simple exercise just to get you into counting out loud, and hopefully you've understood that, and we'll take it further.
Definitely. Let's move forward. So we're about to get into some moves. We're going to start with the top rocks, do the go downs, footworks, freezes, and power. And there's a reason for this order. Usually breaking is done in solos, meaning that there's one dancer who does a solo, complete solo on the dance floor. And usually start with top rocks, you do your go down, then you do your footworks or power moves, end up in a freeze. You can do either footwork or either power, or you can combine everything. Like, it doesn't always have to be the same, but that's the basic format for it. And power is the last one because it's the one that's going to require a lot of strength. And doing all the like steps and all the movements, your power is going to increase. So basically, there's a lot of stuff that you need strength for, but it's going to increase during the DVD. And most likely, you're not going to get everything on with the first practice time. So be patient with it. Here we go.